YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today we are using this really cool tip that already has number 120 2 coats and covered with a matte top coat, both from Ugly Duckling. We're using a Glitterbels core powder by the name of Snowdrops White and my number 10 Glitterbels brush. I'm using a pen right now just to kind of map out where I want Olaf to be. I wanted to use a pencil but couldn't seem to find one, so I'm just kind of marking where his his stacked snowballs are going to go, because I tend to lose perspective pretty quickly when I'm looking at a bigger tip like this, so I thought I'd come in and just mark it. So I'm coming in with my first bead, and this was way too wet. I probably could have just taken it off right then, but I decided just to kind of mess around with it, and it was fine in the end. It turned out exactly how I wanted it. But it was, I didn't drain off the back side, and I should have. So that being said, I'm just kind of cleaning it up. This Glitterbels powder is really fun to work with as far as 3D things go. I've had a lot of luck with it. You just kind of have to mess around with your consistency. So all of my Glitterbels products have been purchased through the Nail Throne. So you can go to the Nail Throne. There's going to be a big restock sometime soon, so keep an eye out for that. You can sign up on the site for her email notifications, like a little subscription, so you can be notified when she gets cool new stuff in. I think she has a cool new luminary color in, so you could go check that out. But you can use the code Liquid Chrome to get 10% off of Glitterbels products. So I'm just playing around with this, and I keep wiping my brush off. I've kind of not put that in here a lot, just because, I mean, you're not here to watch me wipe my brush. So, coming in with the next smaller bead, it was the biggest snowball, was that first one that I put on. And this one I'm just kind of, I spend a little bit of time trying to figure out how I want this one to be shaped. And I know it doesn't have to be exactly like the picture that I was looking at, but funny enough, I really thought that this right here was going to be like the hard part, of course, of the design. I just kind of assumed. And oh, you wait till we get to painting the face on this guy. Like, hand painting usually isn't a problem for me. And his face admittedly didn't turn out how I wanted it to, but I posted this anyway, did this anyway, because that's all part of the learning curve of this. So I'm coming back in with a little bit of an extra bead, because while I was doing that one down below, the smaller one, I actually like bumped into this one. So anyway, I'm just fixing that here. It had a little cut in it just from the tip of my brush. I ran right into it straight ahead. So this is his next little, I was trying to bring it down. I was trying to lean it ahead to try to bring it down a little bit, and it worked. I really thought this would be fun, so they posted this from Ugly Duckling Nails, and I did comment. I commented on it, and I asked if it was acrylic, and they said no, it was 3D gel. Well, 3D gel is something I don't even want to get into, because I feel like that would be disastrous for me. So I just dug out the acrylic and thought I would recreate it this way. I love to recreate others' pictures. I think it's just the most pleasing thing, and I never would ever be insulted if anybody would want to recreate something I had done. I think it's a lot of fun to take somebody else's picture and make it your own, which is what I've done here. So I'm just taking a look. It was Home of Diva that had done these nails on the Ugly Duckling Nails Instagram. And they are so cute. They are so, so cute. So you should go look that up. If you don't already follow them, you really should. And the nails are really cool. Lots of gems, lots of bling. And of course, an Olaf that has a slightly friendlier smile than my Olaf. My Olaf looks a little clown-like. It's okay though. It's fine. It's okay. It's all good. Now I try when I'm working like this, one thing I consciously try not to do is spin the tip around. So you know, if I'm spinning the tip like this, it's because I really can't seem to get to it any other way. And the reason why I don't like to spin the tip around is because I feel like you want to be able to do this on a real person, right? Like obviously this time of year, this is something that unless you book for it, you absolutely don't have time to do. But you can't really spin a person's hand like this, so I do try not to do that. But I really just wanted to get in there with that silicone tool and kind of create the sides of his face, and it wasn't working pointing towards me. So I've left all of this in real time. I did want to mention that the original video, start to finish, was 21 minutes. So I brought 21 minutes down to 11. I'm not missing any of this, or you're not missing any of this. The stuff that I took out was me lollygagging around, staring at the inspiration picture, wiping my brush, waiting for things to dry, especially his head, as I'm trying to kind of make it a different shape. So that's where I cut out the approximate 10 minutes, but I did leave this working time as is. So I didn't speed it up any, just so that you could see the full picture of it. I like to try to keep them just so that if you are going to recreate something, you can have an idea of what's really going on. So I'm kind of waiting until that's about the same dryness as it would be if you were going to pinch it. And then I'm coming in with that silicone tool. So I'm doing his little buttons. And another thing that I took out of here is when I'm flash curing. So just assume that I'm flash curing everything, because really I am. I'm big on flash curing. I don't often think you should just chant stuff and let it hang out there and just see if it's waiting to run. That's kind of what happened, I think, with his face a little bit. My room was really warm, and yeah. And I overcompensated too. Like I said, I thought that his body would be so much harder. So in my mind, I thought, I have the hand painting licked. It's the body that's going to be hard. So that's exactly what didn't happen, because that's just Murphy's Law. That's how those things work. So comment down below if you have any questions about anything. The palette, the little palette that you can see that I'm working out of, is a palette that I filled a couple of videos back. And if you go back and watch that, it is still the same stuff in the palette. Like I didn't change anything. So all of the colors that are in there are still the same. I've mixed a few around, like I've created some other colors, but essentially it's all still the same thing as it was the first time. So this is kind of where like things all go wrong. It's his face. And then I try to add his little tooth in there, and it was so creepy. But I carried on, because sometimes it's the dimension of things, right? Like sometimes you need the full face on there. I find especially the eyes before you're like, oh, okay, no, it's great, it's fine, it's wonderful. Not so much this time. I actually covered over, you'll see it in a second, but I actually covered over his tooth once, just to kind of be like, oh, I don't really like how that works. Anyway, I covered it over and then I brought it back in, and it was cool after that. It was fine. So at the end of the design, I brought him up and did like a little, see, there I am covering his tooth. Oops. I brought him up to try to give you a really close-up picture, and it didn't work very well. So I'm going to insert pictures that I took with my camera afterwards, just to give you a really good idea. So again, if you have any questions, comment them down below. I love chatting with you guys. If there's anything you want to know, anything about what I'm using the Young Nails, oh, the name just left me, Micro Detailer, I believe, brush, and a dotting tool that I've had forever and ever. Came in a pack of 5. I've lost the other 4. That's the last one. Clearly it's the one I love. So yeah, if there's anything you want to know, I'm going to try to link everything down in the description box. But thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. It means a lot to my channel if you click on any of the affiliate links down below. I make a very teeny tiny commission on those Amazon affiliate links, but I really do appreciate when you do purchase that way. So again, thanks for watching, guys, and have a good evening.